Hello, good morning. This is the episode 2 video of the temperament analysis. You remember we already did the episode 1 where I made you realize there are four basic types of temperaments: choleric, sanguine, melancholy, and phlegmatic. So this is episode 2 video. In this episode 2 video, I will be letting you know the various combinations of temperaments that are available. Of course, remember I told you that a person can have more than one temperament. A person can have two temperaments: the primary temperament and the secondary temperament. The primary one is the one you manifest more traits of it, while the secondary one is the one you manifest lesser traits of it. Why do people have two temperaments? You can have two temperaments either because your parents are separate temperaments. Your mommy might be melancholy, your daddy might be phlegmatic. And so, because of this, you can be a male melancholy and phlegmatic temperament, although one would always manifest more than the other. For example, myself, Auntie Taye Lulu, I'm sanguine and melancholy. I'm san male, sanguine and melancholy. So because I'm sanguine and melancholy, I display traits of a sanguine, and I also display a few traits of melancholy, which is my secondary temperament. So what are the 12 blend of temperaments? For those who do not have one temperament, who have two, we have sanguine choleric, which is san claw. We have sanguine melancholy, which is san mel. We have sanguine phlegmatic, which is san phleg. We have choleric sanguine, which is claw san. We have choleric melancholic, which is claw mel. We have choleric phlegmatic, which is claw phleg. We have melancholy sanguine, mel san. We have melancholy choleric, which is mel claw. We have melancholy phlegmatic, which is mel phleg. We have phlegmatic sanguine, which is phleg san. We have phlegmatic choleric, which is phleg claw. And we have phlegmatic melancholy, which is phleg mel. Those are the 12 blends of temperament for people who have two temperaments. How do you know if you have two temperaments? I'm going to be letting you know the weaknesses of every temperament today. I remember that in the first video, I told you the features, general features, a few of the positive traits, and a few negative traits of every temperament. But today, I want to focus on the weaknesses, the downside, the disadvantages that every temperament carries. And I would also give you tips on how to work on those weaknesses so that they will not affect you or pull you down on your life's journey. Remember, no temperament is better than the other. Every temperament have their good side and their bad side. So no temperament is superior to the other temperament. Okay, so we are going into sanguine now. What are the weaknesses of a sanguine? What are the weaknesses? Okay, let me give you a few of the strengths so you can write it down in a tabular form. Sanguine, strengths, and weaknesses. For a sanguine, here are a few of their strengths. They are super extroverts, very outgoing. They like to go to parties, they like to go out. They are always very excited when mommy says we are going somewhere. They are outgoing. They like to talk, extroverts. They are very expressive. They are good storytellers. They laugh a lot and like to make people laugh. They are usually the fun of the room. Wherever they are usually the liveliest. Sanguine, very lively, very friendly. They would always bring life into any group. They love stardom. They love limelight. They like popularity. They like when people say, oh, you are cool. You are the finest in the class. You are the neatest. They love attention. Okay? They love to make friends. and they are very sympathetic and compassionate. A sanguine person is that person that will come to you when you are feeling sad and hug you and peck you and say sorry up to 10 times. They also love to dress up because they have a very big ego. They like when people compliment them, when people say, "Oh, you look good, you look handsome," and all of that. So they love to dress up. What are the weaknesses of a sanguine? A sanguine usually faces the most sexual temptations. They are the ones that will say, "Oh, a boy was looking at me in class today. A girl was looking at me in class today. This and that. I think somebody finds me attractive. Mommy, can I have a girlfriend now? Can I have a boyfriend now?" It is sanguines that usually are prone to that kind of thing. Another disadvantage is a downside, a bad side of temperament, is that they lack will. When they say they want to do something, most times they don't do it. They change their mind, they break their decision. They don't have a very strong will. Little things can easily make them change their mind. And also, they are not dependable. They can be dishonest. When a sanguine person tells you that, "I want to do this for you next week," you might go to meet him next week and the sanguine will say, "I'm not doing again," or "I forgot," or "let's do another thing." They are not reliable. They are fickle. Okay. Also, they usually lack self-discipline. They are easily tempted. They easily give in to temptation because they usually appreciate when people give them praises more than those things they have made up their minds not to do. So a sanguine can easily be tempted or influenced by a bad friend. They are usually disorganized, especially in their house. Although they like to dress up, because they have a fat ego. They want people to compliment them and say that they look cool. But usually their houses and their rooms are usually very dirty and rough. They face fear a lot, very fearful people, sanguines. They face fear a lot. They are usually very afraid. So those are the downsides and weaknesses of a sanguine. Now let's go to a choleric. Okay, what are the advantages or strengths of a choleric temperament, and what are the disadvantages or weaknesses? Now, advantages or strengths: very disciplined, very ambitious, very determined. They have the go-getter spirit. Whenever they set target for themselves, they will put in every effort to achieve it. They are very confident, very ambitious, and very driven. They have strong leadership traits. You know, they are very hardworking, very self-confident, and they usually like to be the leader of a group. When you see four friends now, and you see one of them usually acting like the leader, that person is likely of choleric temperament. Now, what are the weaknesses or downside of a choleric? Very arrogant, very bossy. They usually have anger issues. They are very hostile, very hostile, very they have anger issues. They are the ones that will get angry and slam doors, pound their hands on tables, scream at people, you know. They hurt people with words. They usually say cruel things to people. They are emotionally dry. They don't know how to show compassion or sympathy to people. A choleric temperament will hardly hug you and tell you sorry. They don't know how to do soft things like that. Also, another bad side is that they are very opinionated. They usually believe they know it all, that other people are wrong and they are the only ones that are right. Very controlling, very domineering. Okay. So those are the bad sides of a choleric. Now we are moving to melancholic. What are the strengths of a melancholic? They have a very high IQ. They are deep thinkers, very analytical. A melancholy will hardly do something without thinking about it properly before they do it. They will do it they will think very deeply before they do it. They are deep thinkers. They are usually genius. They are perfectionists. They are very detailed and finicky, very organized, very neat. They are very self-disciplined, because they are deep thinkers and they are very analytical. So they usually have a healthy sense of self-discipline. What are the weaknesses and bad sides to a melancholic? They usually have extreme mood swing. They usually criticize others. They are very pessimistic, very negative people. A melancholy is someone you would tell, oh, my family and I, we are relocating to the US. And they will tell you, oh, your parents will be messengers. Your parents will be cleaning the toilets there. Your parents will be handy men, handy women there. They will usually see the bad sides of everything because they are too critical, you know they are usually hard to please. You can hardly please a melancholy because they are perfectionists. So nothing you do can really please them because they believe they can even do it better. They are usually they usually suffer from low self-esteem, self-confidence because they are fond of comparing themselves to other people. And when they keep comparing themselves to other people, they usually see themselves coming short. So they usually suffer from low self-esteem. Okay. As much as people are admiring them and all of that, they will still find a reason to put themselves below somebody. But I'm not as good as this person now. After all, I'm not as brilliant as this person. They will usually compare and compare until they bring themselves short. Okay. They are usually most likely to suffer from depression because they think too much. Now let's move to phlegmatic. The phlegmatic temperament, the strengths and advantages, they usually look before they leap, very careful. They hardly make mistakes. They are thinkers and planners. Although it may take a long time before they realize those plans, but they are very strategic. They don't like fights. They avoid trouble because they don't like confrontation. Phlegmatics are very dependable. So they can be your friend for 10 years and not betray you. So they usually have good friends. They are hardly disloyal. Unlike sanguine, phlegmatics are very dependable, very loyal. They are very neat, very efficient, and very calm. What are the bad sides? They are not ambitious. They are not driven. They are lazy, very slow. They hardly initiate activity. They are usually complacent. They are okay with where they are. They are not ambitious. When a phlegmatic has all D's, all C's in school, he doesn't care if other people are having A's. They don't care. They just take life as it comes. Very calm, very lazy. They are not ambitious. They can be very selfish and very fearful too. Okay, so how can you overcome your weaknesses no matter what your temperament is? The first stage to overcome any weakness is to identify it realistically. Identify that truly this is a weakness for me. Truly, I'm struggling with this thing, you know, and I need to overcome it. I need to work on it so that it will not drag me down in life. Number two, take it to God. All those weaknesses you've been able to, you know, realize, take them to God in prayers. Okay, without me, ye can do nothing. That's what the Bible says, John 15, verse 5. When you take it to God, God will help you to overcome them, to work on them. So take your weaknesses to God. Number three, when you are supernatural, you can overcome anything. Also, have a checkmate partner. You can make your mommy your check partner. You let your mommy know after you identify your temperament and you tell her the weaknesses of your temperament. That, mom, is it true I usually do this? Is it true I usually do this? So from time to time, you can ask her after you have taken it to God and you are working on yourself, putting intentional actions towards stopping to do those weaknesses. You can now ask your accountability check partner that, do I still shout when I'm angry? Do I still slam doors? Do I still scream? Am I still lazy? Do I still have extreme mood swings? Am I still domineering and controlling? Okay. When you ask that person will give you a realistic feedback. Oh, you have stopped. You are gradually stopping. Keep it up so that you can keep yourself in check from time to time. So if you are having any problems still with identifying your temperament, chat me through your mommy's phone on WhatsApp so that we can work on it together and I'll be able to help you identify what your temperament is. God bless you.